Hi guys, today I am going to tell the story of Charles Darwin. Are you ready to listen? Let's begin the story. Charles Robert Darwin, the English naturalist, biologist and geologist, was born in 1809. He was known for his theory of evolution and was interested in natural history even when he was just 8 years old. After his basic education, he joined the University of Edinburgh Medical School with his brother Erasmus in 1825. But very soon, he found the subject boring and neglected his studies. Annoyed by his attitude, his father sent him to Christ's College, Cambridge, to pursue a bachelor's degree in arts, which would make him eligible to become an Anglican country parson. It was during his stay at Cambridge that he got acquainted with Professor Henslow, who had great knowledge of botany, entomology, chemistry, mineralogy, and geology. This was the friendship that influenced Charles throughout his career. Henslow persuaded Charles to study geology. Therefore, he joined Professor Adam Sedgwick's geology course. In 1831, when Sedgwick planned to visit North Wales for an investigation of older rocks, he recommended that Charles accompany him. That taught him how to determine the geology of a country. The actual turning point in Darwin's life, however, occurred after he returned from the tour, and he spent 5 years aboard the Royal Navy exploring ship HMS Beagle. He received a letter from Henslow that read, "Captain Fitzroy of the Beagle is willing to accommodate any young volunteer to go with him as a naturalist on the voyage of the Beagle without pay. I suggest you to take this opportunity to be the volunteer." Charles was eager to accept the offer, but when he told his father about the same, his father raised an objection, saying, "Charles, if you can find any man of common sense who advises you to go, I will give my consent." At once, Charles wrote back to Henslow, refusing the offer. The next morning, he went out as usual for his shooting expedition when his uncle Josiah Wedgwood called him and said, "Charles, I came to know about your new offer for the Beagle voyage. Quite interesting. I hope you are wise enough to accept it." Charles hesitantly said, "No, indeed, I had to refuse. Father says it is insensible to accept it." "Oh, really? I see. Come, I will drive you over to a place." Let me talk to your dad about that. His uncle discussed the advantages with Charles' father and convinced him to allow Charles to proceed with the voyage. On his part, Charles, who had been extravagant while in Cambridge, assured, "Father, I know it is not going to fetch me any income, and I should depend on you for expenditures during this journey. But trust me, I am clever enough not to spend more than my allowance on board the Beagle." Charles' father said with a smile, "Oh, that's very good. People tell me you are very clever." The voyage was finalized, and Charles set sail on December 27th, 1831. That voyage turned out to be the most important event in his life and even determined his entire career. Charles found it to be the real training and education of his learning. For the next 5 years, Charles would correlate whatever he had thought or read earlier, whatever he saw and experienced about natural science. He collected rocks, fossil bones, shells, etc. and made detailed notes about the animals, plants and geology of the countries he visited along the way. His observations during the voyage made him ponder how new species evolved. He started working on his idea in 1838. In 1858, 20 years later, he concluded that all living species descended from a common ancestor and that the branching pattern of evolution, the changing or developing, is a result of the process of natural selection. He introduced this theory of the natural selection in a joint publication with Alfred Russel Wallace, another naturalist, explorer and anthropologist who held the same views. In 1859, Charles incorporated these ideas and propounded the theory of evolution in his book on the origin of species by means of natural selection. Charles Darwin presented his scientific theory with evidence of the similarities between humans and other mammals. Initially, his views shocked the world as at the time it was widely believed by people that all living beings on earth had been created by one creator, God. Darwin's book challenged this truth mentioned in the book of Genesis. By the 1870s, however, a great majority of the educated people and scientific community had accepted his idea of evolution as fact. As Alfred Russel Wallace put it, Darwin had wrought a greater revolution in human thought within a quarter of a century than any man of our time or perhaps any time. Darwin's finding on human evolution bring together the whole gamut of life science and remain the basis for all the new upcoming theories about the diversity of life on earth. His legacy continues to intrigue us and the generations to follow. Thank you. Please subscribe, share and like, comment in Sumukh vlog. Bye guys.